Sydney Watson, she is an Australian-American political commentator and journalist who became recognized for her YouTube channel on which she shares her views on feminism, gun laws, men's rights and overall political scenario with more than 500,000 of her subscribers. She earned her master's degree in journalism from the University of Melbourne in 2018. It was in the university when she started to notice there was an issue in the way the media was operating, and it was clear to her that something needed to change. In 2018, she started publishing her ideas and writings publicly, creating video content on YouTube and contributing as a guest commentator on Sky News. When asked to her, she said, "I want to uphold traditional values, repair the holes in the journalism industry and give the left a run for its money. If we can't have discourse, freedom of speech and freedom of the press, what else do we have?"
When I first involved myself in politics back in early 2018, I was resentful of the left and their narratives. I found them really annoying, but I thought that we could defeat their ideas with better ideas. And if that failed, then I thought we could march ourselves down to the ballot box and have our say that way. But I don't even know how much trust I have in that process anymore. Because personally, I don't believe that our politicians have our best interests at heart. They don't bother trying to uphold our beliefs and values. The same beliefs and values, mind you, that put them in their positions of power in the first place. They fold at the absolute drop of a hat when they come into contact with the screaming social justice mob.
She quoted, "Over the last few years, I have observed the eroding of rights in Australia, America, and almost in every Western country, mainly because of weak politicians, political correctness, dishonest media, and a victimhood mentality. Don't say this, don't do this, don't offend that person. The more it happens, the more exhausting it has become. Australia has become a reminiscent of a socialist nation, where 60% of Aussies pay no net tax and see the government as a means of funding. Crime rates are crazy, and politicians do nothing."
And I'm so concerned about not just America, but the way that Australia is heading. God, Australia breaks my heart. And the thing that I think more than anything is that the more that we give up territory and the more that we acquiesce to the radical left, there just won't be anything left fighting for in the end.
Even the university campus has become an echo chamber of political correctness and left-wing ideas. University campuses aren't interested in different perspectives, discourse, or discussion. Opening your mouth as a right-winger only brings trouble. If someone is conservative, then he'd better keep quiet because the chance of repercussion is far too great.
And much like its blue sister areas across the country, it's somewhere you can't publicly express right-wing or even moderate views because, surprise, surprise, you'll be crucified.
She said, "I was personally fed up of being called a bigot, a racist, a homophobe, a Nazi, and a white supremacist for simply expressing opinions. But this is where we are, as a society, where young people need safe spaces and trigger warnings."
I'm not okay with the fact that disagreeing with any and all of this bullshit gets us labeled as bigots or racists or xenophobes or whatever. I don't know a better way to put it than to just say that I'm done. I am done with the left. I am done with all of this. It's not normal that a huge portion of the population is scared to express innocuous opinions because they don't want to be berated or attacked or doxxed or fired. That is absolutely batshit insane. It's not normal, it's not acceptable, and the fact that we let this go on is pathetic.
Lack of logic and critical thinking, anti-white rhetoric and radical left has taken over the universities, and more importantly, dishonest agenda-pushing media has gone too far.
I already hated the media and I already distrusted politicians, but now I've basically hit the wall on anyone forcing any left-wing political viewpoint down my throat. It sort of feels like everyone is being told day in and day out just how bad whiteness is and how racist white people are. And you know, we also can't escape this inbuilt sense of racism that we have. But something that I find so irritating across the board is how everything and anything gets linked back to white supremacy and white nationalism. Even when it doesn't make any logical sense, which it often doesn't.
Reality is, the world really wouldn't function without both sides of the coin, left and the right. The main problem is that we've gotten so far away from each other that it's hard to understand how to find any sense of middle ground.
I guess I'm just sort of at this point where I'm so tired of how divisive everything is. And the thing is that I'm not even blaming the people on the ground. I am blaming the politicians and the media and the radical activists for getting us to this point where everyone hates each other.
Discussion is one of the most important things we have. People on the right, especially young people, should feel like their voice is being heard. Because it should be. Everyone should have the liberty to exercise its basic fundamental human rights, and it should be preserved for our generations to come.
There really needs to be a shift in psyche of moderates and people on the right. People need to start actually standing up for themselves and being vocal about their viewpoints. I'm not over here suggesting that you should be using the same tactics as the left and be as destructive and gross as the left, but stand up for yourselves. If you don't start fighting for your values now, when will you? When will enough be enough?
So, this is Sydney Watson for you. Hope she will continue lead the way and become inspiration for many.